What energy auditors really do, the duties and responsibilities explained. What if all your efforts to save energy in your client's building miss the mark because the energy audit wasn't done right? Hi, I'm Bruce Rouse. Welcome to this channel. And today we're breaking down the essential duties and energy auditor responsibilities so that you can really understand exactly what happens during an energy audit and why it matters for saving energy and also for reducing costs and carbon footprint of commercial and industrial buildings. So let's just start by looking at who an energy auditor is and what their responsibilities are. So an energy auditor is someone who ideally has some training and some certification and who is a professional who systematically evaluates a building's energy use to identify cost-effective ways to reduce energy consumption whilst maintaining service levels around comfort and performance. And if it's an industrial facility, service levels around the production process. Now, the duties of an energy auditor include inspecting systems, and if you're sick of staring in front of a screen, it's great to go out there and visit sites and do site inspections, analyse energy flows, and then they create detailed reports that guide building owners and decision makers. And so why does it matter? Well, across the world, in many countries, energy costs just gradually keep going up higher and higher. And more companies and governments are adopting sustainability goals. Unfortunately, a poor energy audit leads to missed opportunities, inefficient upgrades, and lost funding chances. More broadly, it actually damages the whole sector or the whole energy efficiency industry. That's why energy audit responsibilities go far beyond just going and checking a meter, or in some cases, in some countries, an energy auditor is considered someone who just verifies your total energy use. It goes beyond to just verifying energy use. It involves deep expertise in the energy audit process and energy efficiency assessment so that you can effectively guide your client to achieve cost reductions, energy reductions, and carbon abatement by implementing energy efficiency upgrades. Now, also an often unrecognised requirement of an energy auditor is for the energy auditor to be able to engage with their clients in such a way that the recommendations put forward in the energy audit report actually get implemented. So you actually need some persuasion skills and influencing skills as well. So what are some of the key components of energy auditor responsibilities? We'll just jump into several of them, and I'm going to start with what I just mentioned, which is ability for effective client engagement. You need to be able to understand why an energy user wants an energy audit done in the first place. Why are they doing it? And what are the resources, very importantly, what are the resources available to invest in improvements that cut energy wastage? One thing I'd like to say is that an energy audit actually doesn't save any money or any energy. It's some carefully bundled advice about how to go about reducing energy usage, and it puts forward a business case, but actually doesn't save any energy. Effective client engagement and understanding what they're going to do after the audit is incredibly important if you want your client to actually move forward and cut its costs and cut its carbon footprint. Then we have preliminary data collection, which you like to do often before you go to site, collect the energy bills, get equipment list asset registers, get building plans, and begin to analyse the site and get a feel for where the issues might be before you go there. Then there's the on-site inspection, which can be a real blast when you do it. And that goes around physically inspecting the building, looking in detail at the HVAC systems if it's a commercial building. In industrial processes, you study those processes in detail. Look at the lighting, look at the control systems, basically look at everything that uses energy. And then also identifying how the equipment is controlled and configured. Typically, you'd like to undertake some measurements to determine service levels and identify areas of wastage. Then we look at energy modelling and analysis. So you can use spreadsheets or specialised software to simulate energy flows, to develop an energy use breakdown, and identify inefficiencies and opportunities for savings. Then we have the identification of the energy savings measures, also known as energy efficiency measures, EEMs, or energy conservation measures, ECMs. You need to recommend both operational changes that can be implemented immediately, just with OPEX budgets, such as optimizing HVAC controls, and those projects that require capital expenditure or CapEx, such as equipment replacement. You've got to prepare the energy audit report. This has got to document the findings clearly with estimates, investment costs, risk assessments, and recommended implementation plans. And then the final is the presentation, stakeholder engagement, and hopefully leading then to implementation, or that's the whole objective. This is around communicating the results effectively, not just providing a deep technical report, but communicating effectively to the decision makers, to the building owners, the managers, and the financial stakeholders to ensure that they've got buy-in and they're willing to commit the funding to implement the recommendations that you've put forward. So, for example, a commercial building auditor might discover that the HVAC controls are running longer than needed, and perhaps running also on public holidays when the building's vacated, leading to unnecessary energy expense. That recommendation to address that issue could show how a simple schedule adjustment could save perhaps 5% energy costs annually and could be something that could be implemented immediately at virtually no cost. The energy audit, however, could also identify other projects involving capital investments and potentially identify how to reduce energy use by perhaps another 20%. So that's kind of the outcome that you should expect from an energy audit. And ideally, the energy audit will result in investment happening and the energy user saving quite a bit of energy. So what are some of the common challenges and solutions in energy audit duty? So energy auditors face several common challenges that impact the quality and acceptance of their work. One of the challenges is inaccurate data collection. And without detailed building information and historic energy bills, and preferably interval data, which breaks down the energy use into shorter intervals, audits can actually miss key inefficiencies. So how do you overcome this? Well, the solution is really good client communication from the start about the importance of the data, but it's also developing data gathering protocols and being really careful when you do have to make an assumption, how you verify assumptions. Another challenge is poor communication of findings. So complex technical jargon, when I've seen some very complicated energy audit reports, and if you're an engineer like I am, you might really enjoy getting to the technicalities of it. But if the report is presented in a highly technical way, it can alienate the decision makers who actually may not understand what you're talking about, but may not want to admit it. And so therefore you need to, as a solution, use clear business focused language in energy audit reports, emphasizing the good return on investment and also emphasizing risk reduction. Incredibly important and often overlooked as well. Another challenge is overlooking the operational improvements. So sometimes an energy auditor may just focus on the hardware upgrades and miss lower cost savings. Equipment replacement is just only one way of many ways of saving energy. So the solution is to include both operational and behavioural recommendations, and also to encourage organisations to adopt an energy management approach where they're continually monitoring and looking to continually improve their energy consumption. So by understanding these challenges and applying solutions, energy auditors can improve their credibility and success. To wrap up, energy auditors' responsibilities encompass detailed data collection, thorough inspections, sophisticated analysis, clear reporting, and stakeholder engagement, which are all critical for successful energy efficiency projects. Now, if you want to advance your career and deliver investment-grade audits that secure funding and cut costs, the investment-grade energy auditor certification is your go-to. Below this video, we've got links to lessons that you can take, no charge. Have a go and see if this is for you. Look forward to having you in one of the courses. Thank you.